And we got a little more Trump administration news here. Trump administration tries to bury a 1,656-page climate report warning of devastating health impacts of warming. So this happened on Black Friday, basically. The White House released an alarming, this is from Democracy Now!, by the way, the White House released an alarming climate change report on Black Friday, attempting to bury a 1,656-page government assessment that directly contradicts President Trump's history of climate change denial. So they're saying climate change is real. We're evolving. The damning report, known as the National Climate Assessment, says that the consequences of climate change will leave no part of the U.S. untouched, and the warming climate will increase wildfires, crumble infrastructure, worsen air quality, destroy crops, and lead to more frequent disease outbreaks. It also finds that global warming could shrink the U.S. economy by as much as 10% by the end of the century. The findings are a sharp rebuke to the Trump administration's insistence that environmental regulations hurt jobs. That's bullshit, by the way, and hinder economic growth. Once again, bullshit. We speak with, all right, so that's going on to the interview they have that we're not going to get into. So there you go. That's from Democracy Now! And they talked about this on CNN, where they had Rick Santorum as one of the speakers. They had Rick Santorum talk about climate change. Because I guess that Pat Robertson was busy, so they had to call Rick Santorum, and Rick Santorum applauded this effort. He said it was great that they buried this and tried to just rush it through on Black Friday and ignore it. And then he did the typical right-wing talking point of, look, I know the climate is changing. The climate's changing, said Rick Santorum. But, the question is, how much of a role is made, which that is such a lazy, just verbal diarrhea. That means nothing. Of course, we can discuss about how much man is playing a role. That doesn't mean anything. That's a meaningless jargon. The point is, man is playing a role, and if we don't stop, there's going to be consequences. The science community is pretty much unanimous in that. About 97% agree this is happening, it's real, we're playing a role, we need to do better, or we're going to be in some trouble. And it's like, oh, but how much trouble? How much trouble? We need to know.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your